Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name's Jamel. I love Disney and I recently just watched The Incredibles and I got really inspired. So this is kind of a cut crease. So you got the red, the orange, the yellow, and I just wanted to pair it up with the gloss because the eyes are already really dramatic with lashes and everything. So I hope you enjoy. I got really excited. This is my second video. Please subscribe, like this video if you like it, and comment down below what videos would you like to see from me. I would really appreciate it. Thank you, enjoy. Guys, welcome to yet another video. So today I got inspired to do an Incredibles theme because I really love the movie. So for brows, I used the NYX micro brow pencil in the shade Taupey and the Avon brow kit in the shade Soft Brown. And I carved my brows already with the concealer. I always use the Lightweight from Avon, and I set it with the Cherry Tree white. It's like a white shadow. So I first started the eyes with the Kylie Cosmetics Skinny Dip palette, and I'm using the bronzer in the palette called Sunkiss just to give a little definition in the eye. And after that, I'm using a ColourPop single shadow called Paper Tiger just to start with the yellow tones and give that Incredibles feel. By the way, guys, I'm really digging this music. It's like giving me superhero vibes. I love it. Okay, so now I'm using the Take Me Back to Brazil palette from BH Cosmetics just to start with the yellows. As you can see, the colors don't have numbers nor names, so I'm just showing you the shadows I'm using. I'm using like a yellow tone just to start blending because the Paper Tiger shade was a little darker, so I'm just like bringing it back to like bright yellows. Okay, so now I'm using like a lighter yellow just to blend everything so everything seems seamlessly and airbrushed, just to give it that effect. As you can see, I'm blending all the way to the brow bone because we're gonna do a cut crease, so we're gonna use a lot of space for the cut crease and just so the yellow shadows can show. So as you can see, now I'm taking an orange from the same palette just to build a little more depth before we go on to make the cut crease. And now I'm using the same brush I used with the yellow just to blend everything together before we go on to make the cut crease. And now I'm using the Avon True Color Concealer in the shade Lightweight, and I'm just gonna cut the crease. I'm first putting a dot on my lid and I open my eyes so I can see where the cut crease ends. Now I'm just gonna be putting a little bit more in the little places, and I'm gonna use a small flat brush to outline the cut crease. As you can see, I'm dragging the concealer downward, but that doesn't matter because we're gonna clean that up later with makeup remover wipes. skipped to do my other eye off camera, and now I'm setting it all with the cherry tree, the white color shadow, just to set it in place. So it was a little hard with the other shadow. I was kind of digging to get this shadow to set it. So I switched to the e.l.f. Under Eye Translucent Powder because it's easier, it's loose powder. Okay, so now I'm using the Pond's Luminous Clean Makeup Remover wipes just to clean the cut crease, because as I said before, we drag it all the way down, but we don't want that look. So we're just gonna clean it up to make it perfect. Oh my god, excuse my weird face, please. I'm just doing it to stretch my face and see where the cut crease needs to end to get it perfect. Okay, so now I'm taking another flat brush. I'm using the same palette, the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, just to fill in the cut crease, because we wanted to make intense red, so it can look more like the Incredibles theme, that kind of color scheme, the yellow and the red and the orange, and later on the black. Okay, so the red was kind of hard for me. That's why you see me like digging in the palette. But I can get that because reds are kind of difficult to make. And for a vegan palette, it's more difficult. So I was trying really hard. But later on, I used the metallic red in the palette, which is more pigmented. And it helps a lot. Okay, so I decided to switch, and I used the Kylie Cosmetics Burgundy palette in the shade Burgundy just to emphasize the color and give it more oomph in the red. But then I switched back to the Take Me Back to Brazil palette in the metallic red shade. Okay, so here's the shadow I was telling you guys about. I first started using my finger, but then I saw it was really pigmented, so I used my brush instead. And don't worry about the fallout, because we're gonna clean that out later with the Pond's makeup remover wipes. That's why we started with the eyes instead of the skin part. Okay, so now I'm going with the orange just to give it a little more depth to the new crease. And then I go to a flatter brush, a more fine brush, to define the crease a little bit more. sorry guys, I'm covering it with my hand, but I'm using the first yellow I used in the palette. Okay, so now I'm taking the Pond's makeup remover wipes to clean up the fallout of the red shadow before we go on to the black liner. It's the Wet n Wild black liner, and we're gonna underline the whole cut crease. Okay, so I felt that the shadow in the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, the orange one, didn't do what I wanted it to do, so I went in with the H&M shadow in orange ochre to define more the crease. Okay, so now I'm using the yellow again from the Take Me Back to Brazil palette just to blend everything together so it seems airbrushed. Okay, now we're going with the black liner and we're gonna line the whole cut crease, outline it. Okay, so I made the mistake of using liquid liner because my hand was already shaky, and since it's liquid it can get everywhere. So I recommend to use a felt tip liner because I feel like it's easier to control. Okay, so I'm applying a little bit more of the orange from the Take Me Back to Brazil palette because I feel like the liner covered the other orange I put to define the crease. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other eye off camera and I'll see you right back.
A few moments later.
Hey guys, so you probably can't see it, but I tried to apply a gold liner. I think it was a fail, but And now I'm applying the Avon Face Perfector as a primer. And after that, I'm applying foundation. The same foundation I used in the last video, which is the Avon True Color Foundation in the color Nude. Okay, this is my favorite sponge ever. I was using the other one because I threw the one I had before that one. Like, I had another one of those and I threw it away because it got kind of old. But I love this sponge. It's from Avon. I really recommend it. So go to your nearest Avon store and buy like 20 of those. They're like 99 cents and they're the best. Okay, so for my forehead, nose, upper lip, chin, and under eye, I'm using Lightweed. And then for a little bit of brightening for my under eyes, I'm using the color Fair. This is the Avon True Colors Concealer. As always, I always blend my forehead, nose, upper lip, and chin before I apply my concealer under my eye because I feel like it creases less. And with this concealer, it dries really fast, so I prefer to do the under eyes after. Alright, this little guy I'm trying to cover, he was born today and he decided to pop out in the day I was filming my video. He's Jared and he just wanted to be the start of the show today. Okay, so now I'm opening my eyes really big because I'm applying the setting powder now. I'm using the e.l.f. Translucent Under Eye Powder to set it all in place. as always, I'm using the Avon Flawless Loose Powder in the color Neutral. Okay, so for contour, I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I finally know the names. I'm using Shadow Play and Subconscious together. I'm just contouring the perimeters of my face and my nose. Okay, so with the same palette, I'm using the colors, I don't know if it's Lyrie or Leery, and I'm also using the shade Levitation. And I'm also highlighting on the parts I apply concealer, my forehead, nose, chin, upper lip, all that. Okay, and now for bronzing, I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics Skinny Dip palette, and I'm using the Sun Kissed bronzer. Okay, so now as a transition shade for my lower lash line, I'm using again the bronzer, the Sun Kissed bronzer from the Skinny Dip palette. Now I'm using Paper Tiger from ColourPop. Okay, so for the outer part of the lash line, I'm using the red from the Take Me Back to Brazil palette just to give a little definition to the eye. Okay, so now I'm taking the same brush I used to brighten up everything with the powder highlight to just clean everything up to make it look airbrushed. I didn't show it, but I'm actually using the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, the orange shade, just to tight line the outer part of my bottom lash line. And then I'm using the H&M shadow in orange ochre because that shadow, it's kind of metallic, it has kind of a gold reflect, so I feel like it makes my eyes pop a little bit more. Then I'm taking the same brush I used, the ColourPop shadow Paper Tiger, with what's left of the shadow, and I'm just blending everything together. And now I'm using this little brush, which I think it has translucent powder, to blend everything and make it look airbrushed. Okay, so now I'm underlining my waterline with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On pencil in the shade Prevision. So now I'm taking the same brush I used with the H&M shadow and I'm just smudging the liner. So for blush today, I'm using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in Feisty. So as always, I apply my setting spray outside, and this one's from Pretty Vulgar. And for highlighter today, I'm using Glow Up from the Kylie Cosmetics Skinny Dip palette. Okay, so for mascara today, for the upper lashes, I'm using the Big and Daring from Avon. And for the lower lashes, I'm using the Avon True Color Super Extended Winged Out Mascara. So for lips today, I'm using the lipstick Naturally Nude from Avon, and then I'm topping it with the Kylie Cosmetics Popping Gloss. Since the eyes are already so dramatic, I wanted to go for a more natural lip. And finally for lashes, I'm using the Ardell Faux Minx in 810. Thank you guys for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Comment down below what you think about the movie. For me personally, I think it was worth the wait. I really loved the movie. And subscribe to get notifications of whenever I'm posting new videos. I'm trying to post every Friday, so I'll tell you guys about that. And follow me on social media. I'll link it down below, my Instagram and my Twitter, so you can follow me and keep in track what I'm posting and stuff like that. Thank you guys.